our next speaker is a dear friend of mine. I just met her couple months ago, and it feels like I've known her forever. And going back to community, that's why I talk about the community garden. What about community of friendships and relationships? So I met Dana from someone that I knew from like 4 years ago from our community and Austin Haynes. And we've seen him speak on this platform several times. So he had held an event, and I met Dana at that event. So going back to community and supporting each other. So that's a great thing. It's the supports and collaborating. And Miriam Stephen Smith touched on that, that collaboration. So I'm really happy to bring to you today Dana Lynn Banks. She's an award-winning entrepreneur, author, and renowned business intuitive who blends leadership excellence with a heart for service. As the owner of a business consulting firm and a devoted hospice volunteer, Dana uplifts others through her professional expertise, spiritual gifts, and unwavering commitment to living each day with purpose and positivity. Her topic today is leveraging intuition in business and beyond. Dana, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Diane. And likewise, you have been a light to me, and I just really truly appreciate you opening up the opportunity to join others in a positive way. So let's get right into it. Have you ever said to yourself, I don't know why, but this just feels right? It's called, your gut. Like, I just had that gut feeling. That's intuition talking. And in business especially, it's the difference between a missed opportunity or a breakthrough. Steve Jobs once said, intuition is more powerful than intellect. And of course, as we know, he built Apple from it. Intuition is more powerful than intellect. That's very, very deep. So let's talk about what intuition is. So intuition is the brain's ability to make decisions without analytical reasoning. It's fast, emotional, and always subconscious. Think of it as your inner GPS. It's built from experience, especially patterns, and yes, even purpose. So I will turn 54 next month, and I have a beautiful gift of, I call it intuition. I am a intuitionist, and so everyone has that ability. So I also have an extra gift, as I call it, and I've been able to bless so many people with spiritual messages. But I do attribute that to recognizing what those signs are and using my intuition above all to carry out those messages. Now, studies show that 90% of top executives, 90%, that's a significant number, credit intuition as a key factor in their most important decisions. So I think back to my corporate days at Verizon as a sales director. And I would often, before a big sale rally or a meeting, or just really cutting close to making the quota for the month, I would just close the door and really meditate and think about, okay, what is the first thing that comes to mind? And so again, intuition, right? We want to trust ourselves. So if you have trust issues, that's going to be a problem. So we do have to really dig deep and trust ourselves, because intuition, it does not lie. And so that's very significant. And let's talk about why intuition matters in business, especially. So we are in a world of data overload. Intuition cuts through that noise. So rather than, and again, I am not discounting, paying for seminars or workshops, what have you, but intuition is free. We just have to learn to be consistent and mindful about it. For startups, intuition, it pivots based on gut instinct and not spreadsheets. Investors often say, I had a really good feeling about this founder. It's true. Creatives, they often innovate not by logic alone, but by following the gut feeling. Intuition, it will help us make quick decisions under pressure, read people in situations instantly. For instance, have you ever walked into a room and looked at folks and said, wow, that particular person right in the corner there, I need to connect with them. I know I did with Diane. She just instantly attracted me. Her just warm energy, her smile. And above all, Diane just had this really genuineness about her. So think about that if you haven't already. Usually your first impression, and it's not just a cliche, the first impression is lasting. So again, that's trusting your intuition. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of science, okay? This is significant. So the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain does to the heart. Let's say that again. So the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain does to the heart. So really, your body feels truth before your mind even explains it. So again, your body, it feels things before your brain can even explain it. And that's powerful. And that right there is significant in kind of understanding how the intuition part works. So let's talk about how you strengthen your intuition. And of course, experience matters. So I look at age 54, right? I look at my intuition long ago when I was, say, 18. Okay. I didn't trust it as much. I was sometimes reckless, right? And of course, hormones play a part, etc. But experience is key. So what I do to really strengthen my intuition is to really silence the noise. And that means meditation, of course, nature, and just being still, because stillness definitely sharpens the intuitive signals rather. So notice your first instinct and write it down. Journaling is key. And those who don't really like to write, you can certainly, we have access to phones. We can kind of take notes too, right? We talk about memory. So the rosemary, right? And the building the intuition, they go hand in hand. And then trust those techniques, as I call them. I even let my granddaughters know when they have a situation to where they didn't make a good decision. They're 8 and 9, respectively. I tell them, trust those tiny hugs. Like, wow. So with children especially, you can use it in that regard. Intuition always speaks calmly. And it doubts fear. And so, when you're fearful and you're anxious, that's not intuition. Intuition is always calm. So Albert Einstein said that the intuitive speaks calmly, right? But now the intuitive mind is a sacral gift. And he solved most of the universe's mysteries, not by logic, but through his vision and trusting intuition. So that's just really powerful. And I always say that intuition is not a luxury. it's your business advantage. You know, it's not just personal. You can really leverage it in any business. So when you follow your intuition, you're not only guessing, you're remembering what your soul already knows. So always trust your inner yes, and you can't go wrong. So that is my wisdom today. And my gift to you, if anyone wants to reach out, is just to have a conversation with me. And I always say there are just wonderful things that happen in a serendipitous way, if you will, or maybe not. So I would love to share a conversation with you, and perhaps you will receive a spiritual message. And, you know, sometimes, you know, there's no message there, but just being a community is my gift to you. And so thank you so much for allowing me to share my wisdom today.